Just as the woman was about to be burned to death, blue light suddenly burst out of the girl's eyes. She tightly clenched her fists, and incredible energy exploded from her body. All the onlookers were blasted away. Even the fire at the woman's feet was instantly extinguished. It turned out the girl had half divine blood. Her father was the king of the underworld. Back then, Yama, in order to capture a monster, transformed into a mortal and came to the human world. He happened to encounter the eldest daughter of the prime minister's estate, throwing an embroidered ball to find a husband. But all those standing below were beggars. This was actually the scheming younger sister's trick. She deliberately found all the beggars in the city to fight for the embroidered ball, just wanting the woman to never be able to turn her life around. But the beggars, seeing the woman was actually a fool, were unwilling to marry her. At this time, the embroidered ball accidentally rolled to Yama's feet. He curiously picked it up and looked at it closely. The scheming younger sister, seeing her plan had failed, pushed the woman off the building with one shove. So Yama happened to save the woman just in time, and unexpectedly discovered this woman had an extremely yin constitution. She had only become a fool because she was possessed by an evil spirit. Suddenly remembering his father once said he would meet an extremely yin-fated woman in the mortal world. As long as he married her, he could cultivate into a demon god. So Yama told the prime minister he was willing to marry the woman. On their wedding night, the man used his magic powers, forcing out the evil spirit and letting his wife regain her senses. At this time, her appearance also became especially beautiful. Even Yama, who had seen countless beauties, couldn't help but praise her good looks. When the woman woke up, she was extremely excited. She had finally escaped the evil spirit's control. All of this was given to her by the man before her eyes. The woman had lost her mother since childhood, suffering endless bullying and humiliation, never imagining she would now find a man who could protect her. The two couldn't help but embrace each other. After one night, Yama discovered the woman truly was his fated woman, because the bottleneck in his cultivation that had troubled him for many years was actually broken through. At this time, the man wanted to be with the woman forever, but he had to return to the underworld and accumulate 100,000 merits in order to give the woman immortality. Who would have thought one day in the underworld was a year in the mortal world? This one departure lasted 10 years. His wife had long since given birth to his daughter, but the scheming younger sister still refused to let them go. So she locked the mother and daughter in the dungeon and had to take a bowl of the woman's blood every day. It turned out the scheming younger sister's husband had developed a blood addiction and had to drink blood every day to survive. Later, a plague suddenly broke out in the city, and the woman was also infected. The scheming younger sister, seeing she was useless, in order to gain merit, falsely claimed the mother and daughter were the source of the plague. The city lord, in order to appease the people's anger, decided to sacrifice the mother and daughter at the mountain god temple. At this time, the woman knelt down and begged the mountain god to spare her daughter. Who would have thought at this time, the stone statue emitted a green light and a mountain god appeared. Seeing the mountain god, everyone knelt and kowtowed. Actually, the mountain god, discovering the woman had an extremely yin constitution, became greedy and wanted to absorb her soul to increase his power. So he falsely accused the woman of being the reincarnation of the plague god and said as long as she was burned to death, the plague would disappear. So the villagers actually believed his words and then lit a bonfire and put the woman on it. At this time, the daughter cried her heart out. The strong stimulation awakened her half-divine bloodline. Suddenly, a blue light burst out from her body, instantly blasting away the nearby villagers.